And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a special presentation of the very best of the Black Hills Conference, your St. Thomas More Cavaliers, where tonight we bring you our season opener for the 2025 volleyball season as the St. Thomas More Lady Cavaliers play host to the Douglas Lady Patriots from Box Elder, South Dakota. Well, we're happy to have you with us tonight. We had all the thrill and excitement and more that you could ever want Friday night from our season debut as St. Thomas More defeated Sioux Valley 28-14 to start 1-0 on the gridiron, and they would later be ranked number 3 in this week's statewide Kelloland poll behind only Winter and Elk Point Jefferson. Well, we bring you volleyball, and we are very excited to be doing that. Michaela Watson, in her second year as head coach of St. Thomas More, looks to build something even bigger. Could it have been a better first year than what STM had with Coach Watson leading the way with their young team a year ago? Last year, St. Thomas More reached the SODAC 16, had a winning season, and finished third in the Black Hills Conference regular season race, and even took Hill City to the brink here at the Security First Bank Court of Champions in a match ultimately won by league champion Hill City. Well, this Cavalier team is hungry, they're determined, and they're extremely well coached. And tonight they'll play host to a Douglas team looking to do big things. This is a Douglas program that is also well coached and has a lot of buy-in and energy around it in Douglas High School's fall sports picture. And this should be a good match tonight. Expect this match to go at least 4, if not 5 sets. And we don't know who's going to win. It's going to be a very entertaining match, and we're glad you're making us a part of your Tuesday night on this final week of the month of August. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Mike Fell. I am joined by Technical Director Braden Strain, our camera operator Regan Dewar. It's so great to be back at the Security First Bank Court of Champions for our 6th year of bringing you sports here on the Cavalier Sports Network, and it's our 3rd year of bringing you volleyball here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. I always share up front that for all I know about football and all I might pretend to know about basketball, I know very little about volleyball. I just didn't grow up with it. I went to an all-boys Jesuit prep school in Omaha, and I just was never around volleyball. And growing up in Omaha, you don't play on a beach and you don't play with sand, except if it's in your back sandbox area. So anyway, I am by no means a volleyball expert or a volleyball aficionado. My goal is to promote these young people, bring you the thrill and excitement of the action as it unfolds, give you the score so you know what the score is, and along the way, share observations that I feel with some amount of confidence I can share with you, our audience members. But I'm learning literally one serve at a time, and without knowing a single thing about volleyball, and I mean a single thing 2 years ago, I am a student of this amazing sport whose popularity seems to have no ceiling and whose popularity is reaching great heights. Well, today was a big day. If you pay attention to what's going on in the pop culture world, the engagement happened. It finally happened. Kansas City Chiefs superstar tight end Travis Kelce proposed to 14-time Grammy Award-winning Taylor Swift, and Taylor said yes. And now we wait for the most anticipated wedding in American history, I would propose, as the Kelsey and Swift wedding. They haven't announced the date, I don't think, but it's going to happen, and we will see superstars Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift tie the knot in the near future. Congratulations to all of you Swifties out there and all of you Chiefs fans out there as well. Well, here we go. We're just about 5 minutes away from an opening prayer, our national anthem, and our starting lineups. Great atmosphere tonight. It's hot inside, of course. It's August, and when it's August, we're going to heat up, and we're going to definitely make the most of our opportunities to take advantage of any water breaks or any breaks in the action. So here we go. We're getting ready for volleyball's season opener, and we're happy to have you along with us tonight on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. Cavs and Patriots renew their Black Hills Conference and Black Hills Metro rivalry, and nothing like starting with a big game that on paper seems close, pretty evenly matched. That's what we had in football Friday night, and that's what we have in store tonight. A lot of familiar faces from last year's volleyball squad. I'm looking around, I only see maybe two players who I don't recognize from a year ago. But up front you can see Kesley Benda. She really came on strong. Of course, Leighton Shear, she's outstanding. And we celebrate, of course, the great career of Alexis Shear, Leighton's older sister, and also Gretchen Henry. She has moved on to her collegiate career, but it's exciting to have serious all-state candidate Enna Henry, who is rewriting the record books in terms of assists or sets at STM, back to be a senior leader on this team. And when you look at just the core that's on this team, with especially Benda and Leighton Shear. Also, we've got a healthy Madison Boyum. Haven't been able to say that in a while. That's exciting. She brings a lot of height to that front row. And then what can you say about Enna Henry? She's one of the best volleyball players in the state, without a doubt. And it's going to be very exciting to see what unfolds for Enna Henry as she leads the way this year for the Lady Cavs. Well, we're getting the Lady Cavs to go through their final warm-up paces. We're getting closer to introductions. Gives us a chance to send along some messages from our friends at Security First Bank. Every great team needs a strong defense. Protect what matters with health and life insurance from Security First Insurance. Your coverage, your peace of mind. Insurance products are not FDIC insured, have no bank guarantee, and may lose value. Ready to launch your career game plan? Security First Bank has the opportunities for students and professionals. Join our winning team. Apply today at securityfirstbank.com/careers. Security First Bank, member FDIC. We're excited to bring you tonight's action. We're maybe about a minute or two away from introductions. Glad you're making your Tuesday night a night with us as we bring you STM versus Douglas Volleyball. Special hello to all my neighbors in Box Elder tuning in to watch Douglas play, and we're glad to have you with us here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network also. And For all of you in the U.S. Air Force, thank you for your service, and we sure appreciate what you do for our country with every mission. And I can speak to this as a resident of Box Elder. A lot of families, they've really had to they've had to sacrifice in the last year. A lot of our airmen and airwomen, they were sent to Grand Forks while the B-21's runway was being set up. And as a result, a lot of family members have been without head of households or spouses, and that's not easy. I mean, most people will say, well, that's the military life, but folks, that's not easy. And we just salute the dedication not only of those who serve our country in uniform that had to go to Grand Forks or might be in Grand Forks right now, but we also thank those at home that support those men and women serving our red, white, and blue in the wild blue yonder for the U.S. Air Force. Well, we're getting ready for starting lineups coming up momentarily. St. Thomas More in their home black jerseys with the white numerals, Cavaliers across the front, and red and blue pants, and Douglas is set up in their navy blues with Patriots. And we're now going to turn it over to our public address announcer for our introductory ceremonies. You're watching the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. All right, and the match begins. Excited to have you with us, and you may have noticed in the introductions that St. Thomas More's head coach has a new name. That's she got married. Congratulations to former Coach Watson, now Coach Phillipson, as Coach Watson, or Coach Phillipson, also appears to have her sister with her, Tanya Watson, one of the assistant coaches, and I think she might have been coaching the JV team earlier. So familiar team, familiar coaching staff on the ballots, and congratulations to Coach Phillipson, who was Coach Watson a year ago. And here we go. We're ready to begin our match. Cavaliers and Patriots. Both teams getting fired up, and there's something amazing about that first match of the year because you put in all that hard work and you finally get to play a game that counts. Here we go. We are underway. Serve from Douglas. Leighton Shear hits the ball over the net. Douglas looking to counter. Here come the Lady Cavs. Benda with a lob over the net. There's a great kill shot there by Douglas. Ineffective. Dug out by Birdwell on the back row. Now both teams going back and forth, and there's a point for STM. Lady Cavs score the first point of the season, and it's 1-0. We're just underway here in 2025, our third year of bringing you St. Thomas More volleyball. And here's a serve. There's an ace. There's an ace for St. Thomas More. Kelsey Benda able to get that ball to just touch the top of the net and go over, and it threw off the back row there for Douglas. It's 2-0. Benda with a serve. Now Douglas looking to counter. Over the head reversal by Archer. STM to answer. Leighton Shear hits it back to the Douglas side. There's a soft touch shot by Olivia Harris for Douglas. STM regroups, and sailing the ball out of bounds for St. Thomas More was Lauren Papel. Yes, Lauren Popple. I'll get it right. It's been a few months since we've done volleyball. But Lauren had the ball go out of bounds. Douglas gets a point. Now there's an unforced service error by Douglas, and the score stands 3-0 in favor of the home team, St. Thomas More. Here comes a serve from All-State candidate, center Anna Henry, one of the best Lady Cavs ever to play this game we call volleyball. And she was the fastest player to 1,000 assists in her career. And she gets the point there from the service position. Here comes a serve by Anna Henry. Ball dug out on the back row by libero Ramsey Johnson. Benda ahead to Henry. And there's a great pull of the string right there by Violet Grimshaw, the younger sister of the great Scarlett Grimshaw. It's 5-1. Lady Cavs leading by 4. Patriots look to reset, and there's a dig by Eggleston. It bounced off her head for a moment, and now Douglas scores the point. Great play by Miley Archer. She found a soft pocket behind the back row that came up a little bit out of position and scored the points for Douglas. It's now 5-2. Here comes the serve. Eggleston to Henry. Now it goes over to Shear, who scores the point. Good spike and kill by Leighton Shear. And now it's 6-2 in this fast-moving volleyball game 1 of this best-of-5 match tonight here in the Black Hills Conference. Ball dug out on the back row by Douglas. Popple hits it twice, gets it over to a teammate. Now Douglas to attack. Good serve dug out by Benda. Ahead to Henry. Sets up Popple, who hits the ball over to Van Holy, and Van Holy hits the ball right up into the rafters, and the ball hits the deck. Now, if the ball hits the rafters, in case you're curious, it's still live. It's all about where the ball lands. So you can have a little bit of pinball action from the top of this Tournament of Court of Champions facility tonight. There's a great play by Madison Boyum at the net. Boyum raising her arms into the air at 6'1" and saying no way to that last lob that was just over the net. We have a timeout called by Coach Sarah Tucker for Douglas. It's 8-2 STM. Lady Cavs really couldn't ask for a better start to this match and to the season than what they've been able to do, channeling all of this just awesome STM Lady Cav energy into this performance. And the Lady Cavaliers now up 6 in the early stages for the first game of the year. We'll be with you again on Thursday night. St. Thomas More will play host here at the Security First Bank Court of Champions to the Hot Springs Lady Bison. And that game will be about 48 hours from now. And then we will have game 2 of the football season. Number 3, St. Thomas More hosting Mount Vernon Plankington Friday night with kickoff set for 5 o'clock. And then Saturday morning, we bring you Lady Cavs soccer. STM will be hosting West Central. A very busy, active week. 4 Cavalier sporting events in 3 different sports here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. There's a spike. It sails out of bounds by Lauren Papel, and it's now 9-3. STM, a young team. They don't have a lot of seniors on their roster, but they return a lot of players with meaningful experience. Enna Henry and Madison Boyum, those are the 2 seniors that are going to have huge roles this year. There's a ball hit over to the Douglas side and not returned, and it's 10-3. STM by 7. Security First Bank, they proudly bring you this game, and whether you're cheering from the bleachers or spiking on the court, show your Cavalier pride with a Cavalier debit card from Security First Bank. There's a good serve. Douglas digs it out. There's a spike. Saved by Strain. Over it goes to Violet Grimshaw with a great soft touch lob that was like throwing the snowball down the old chimney, and it scored the points for the Lady Cavs. It's 11-3. STM by 8 so far. Here comes a line drive serve by Allison Crawford, and that leads to another point for St. Thomas More. It's 12-3. Well, the Lady Cavs very efficiently rotating pretty deep on this hot night, at both outside and in our gym. There is no such thing as air conditioning here at the Security First Bank Court of Champions, that's for sure. We're trying to get a wind tunnel. There we go. Benda with a great serve, and there's a volley into the rafters, and another point for STM. Coach Phillipson has to like the start to this match. It's 13-3. Lady Cavs already with a 10-point lead. Van Holy with a dig, keeps it alive. Henry sets up Benda. Benda with a good push shot to the back corner. Ball kept alive by Vernon. Over it goes now to STM. Boyum with a kill and a point. Madison Boyum. We haven't seen her in past seasons deliver an accurate spike to the back like that, back of the opposing zone. That might be a signal right there that Boyum has expanded her game in the offseason. There's a serve that sails out of bounds for STM. Coach Phillipson keeping things up. And why not? The Lady Cavs lead 14-4. We're just underway here in game one of our match tonight here in Rapid City. Here comes a serve from Riley LaJoy. Benda goes airborne, and I mean, she went sky high. STM now with the ball on their side. Benda with a nice touch shot. It's kept alive. The ball, and then, oh my goodness, Boyum absolutely toying that time with a shot just over the net. Boyum has gotten even taller in the offseason. Oh my. She absolutely went airborne. And when by the time she touched the ball, I mean, she was over the net clearly and had no trouble taking her hands back and avoiding touching the net. Wow. Just to watch Kelsey Benda and Madison Boyum in these opening minutes go to work on the front line is remarkable. We haven't had that before. There we go. There's a serve out of bounds, and Coach Phillipson with a nice return. She's still once a volleyball player, always a volleyball player. She hit the ball back like she wanted to play. Oh, that's awesome. Here we go. Ball hit at the net. Point scored by Nicole Blanchard, the outside hitter sophomore at 5'5" for Douglas. And now it's 17-5. Lady Cavs up by a dozen. Here we go. Henry gets it to Benda. Benda with a good spike. Ball kept alive by Blanchard. Now it's hit across by Odegaard. STM's Boyum with a push shot to the back row. Dug out by Riley LaJoy. Here comes a ball hit right back to Coach Phillipson by Nicole Blanchard. And it's 18-5. Lady Cavs looking instantly like an improved version of a Sodak 16 team they were a year ago. So exciting to see this opening reveal tonight for the Lady Cavs on the hardwood. And there's a point by Nicole Blanchard. Well, Blanchard, she's a very talented underclassman. She didn't start, but man alive, she has been a revelation off the bench and has accounted for 3 or 4 of her team's 6 points here in this opening set, which the Lady Cavs currently lead 18-6. What a great job there by Douglas to keep that point alive. Benda hits it over. Handled by Odegaard. Ahead to the front row, and there's a spike by Olivia Harris out of bounds for Douglas. St. Thomas More gets the point and the serve advantage. Now here comes the substitution. Popple comes in for Crawford. And now Benda to serve for the Lady Cavs. Here comes a one-handed slap shot over the net. Henry sets up Sharon. Oh, what a spike that was. Wow. The Lady Cavs are showing some explosives here in the early going. Oh, man. This is a improved version of last year's team. And it doesn't take more than a couple minutes to see that. Here we go. Shear to Henry to Shear. Oh, what a spike. What a great dig there in self-defense, if for nothing else, by Ashley Blasius. There's a great effort, but to no avail by Emma Odegaard. And the Lady Cavs now extend their opening set lead to 21-6. Benda set to serve for St. Thomas More. Benda serves to the back row. Libero Ramsey Johnson keeps it alive. There's a good dig, and there you go. Ramsey Johnson for Douglas. She has the same hairstyle as 1970s and 80s actress P.J. Souls had. P.J. Souls was in movies like Rock and Roll High School and Halloween and Stripes. Here we go. There's a ball hit onto the net. It's now 22-7. Here comes a serve from Anna Henry. Henry hits the ball to the back row. Ball pushed to the front. Emma Odegaard hits the ball in the middle of the zone, and off it goes from a Lady Cavs return volley attempt, and that makes it 22-8. STM up by 14, 3 points away from an opening set to their favor. Here comes a serve and a ace by a very emotional Ramsey Johnson. It's 22-9. Ramsey playing very well for the Douglas Lady Patriots here in the early stages. Here comes a serve by Ramsey. Benda ahead to Henry. Reverse set goes to Shear. Ball kept alive. There's a great spike by Ramsey Johnson. Eggleston, the libero for STM, gets the ball over to Popple. Now it goes over to Eggleston. Sets over to Grimshaw. Good push shot there by Violet. Now the ball hit to the back row. Eggleston keeps it alive to Popple, and that's a spike and a point. Good play by Lauren, and it's 23-9. STM up by 14 and only 2 points away as Leighton Shear, the junior, serves for STM. Ball hit to the front row, tapped down, but kept alive on a good aware dig on the front line for Douglas. There's a spike and a kill for Madison Boyum, and it's 24-9. Right now, Maddie Boyum just going to work at the net like it's an office she's very familiar with in the professional sense. Here we go. Douglas hits the ball across, dug out by Leighton Shear. Now to Anna Henry. There goes a spike by Violet Grimshaw, and that'll do it. The Lady Cavs win the first set 25-9 and have taken a 1-0 lead in tonight's match over the Douglas Lady Patriots. Well, what you talk about an impressive opening frame. Lady Cavs definitely had it there, and STM right now will look to keep that momentum going. Now, one thing we have to point out now, this is not last year's team, and we definitely saw that in the first set tonight, much to the delight of all of the Lady Cavs fans. But something to note is sometimes last year we saw the Lady Cavs in the second set not regress, but they would lose like their attacking edge that they would have in the first set. Let's see if St. Thomas More continues to build on a very good opening set. So here we go. This gives us an opportunity between sets to recognize some of our great sponsors, including one of our great new sponsors this year, Collins Siding. Gene and the whole team at Collins Siding, they're ready to go to work for you. And we appreciate the Collins Siding team being back supporting STM Cavalier Sports in a big, big way. Welcome to our Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network family, our good friends at Collins Siding. We want to say thank you to Monument Health. They are the official sports athletic training partner for Cavalier Sports. Good to see trainer Kristen Whitley here looking after the Lady Cavs. Want to salute our sponsors that include Culver's Restaurant. You know, I had the shrimp cocktail today for lunch. Wow. You know, it's so good you almost feel like you're not sacrificing during Lent. It's just that's great shrimp. Quinn Construction, proud sponsor of the Cavalier Sports Network, as is Rapid City Shields, Wautiki Water Park, Ruby Tuesdays. That's where the Cavaliers eat. And Rosenbaum Signs, and we're getting ready to bring you the second set with the Lady Cavs claiming set number 1, 25-9. Glad to have all of you watching. All of you that are watching, maybe your daughter tonight or your niece or your cousins up in Grand Forks. Maybe you're stationed up there with U.S. Air Force. We salute you, and we really look forward to having you back by Ellsworth Air Force Base in the near future. Here we go. Douglas operating at the net. There's a spike. Dug out on the back row. Oh my goodness! What a spike by Leighton Shear. Leighton had some serious exit velocity on that one. And the Lady Cavs get the first point of the second set. It's 1-0. Here comes Kesley Benda to serve. Johnson hits a diagonal shot. Now it goes back to STM. Eggleston back row over to Henry, who sets up Shear. It's 2-0. Anna Henry, her sets are absolutely spectacular. You talk about just making every member of the team lethally dangerous. That's what senior Anna Henry is all about. Not that Henry can't do a lot of things on her own. She can, but man, she just sets up her teammates and has been since she's been starting as an underclassman. Anna is just a magnificent volleyball player, and if there's a better setter in Class A volleyball, I would be curious to know who it could be. Here we go. Ramsey Johnson hits the ball into the net. Good try there by Ramsey, the libero for Coach Sarah Tucker and the Lady Patriots. Coach Michaela Phillipson, happy to see her Lady Cavaliers just playing lights out, looking like a ranked team so far. There's a return volley by Douglas. Goes into the rafters, comes straight down. Gravity at work here on a hot night, and the Lady Cavaliers home gymnasium, and Coach Tucker calls a timeout. It is all Lady Cavs, and one thing we saw last year, we're not seeing this year. STM is being relentless at attacking. It's like they expected to win the first set, and they're just continuing to go to work. And Coach Phillipson giving instructions to her team, and she's got to just love what we're seeing. Join us after this game. We're going to have an interview with Coach Phillipson. STM leading this set 1-0. Leading this set 6-0. Leading the match 1-0. Mike Fell, Technical Director Braden Strain, Regan Dewar with you. Our first home indoor sporting event of this 2025-2026 season. Our third year covering Lady Cavs volleyball, and our sixth year bringing you Cavalier sports. Here we go. Ball dug out on the back row. Popple hits it to the back row to Johnson. We've got a whistle, and we'll sort things out momentarily. And there's a point for Douglas, or rather for STM, 7-1. Anna Henry set to serve for St. Thomas More. Henry serves to the back row. Blanchard keeps it out alive, gets it over to Odegaard rather, and STM scores the point at the net. It's 8-1. Lady Cavs up by 7. St. Thomas More combined has outscored Douglas tonight in this match 33-10. It has been dominance at work for the Lady Cavs at home tonight. so far. Still a long way to go, though. There's a play at the net, and there was a good effort by Ramsey Johnson, or check that, not Ramsey Johnson, but Olivia Harris, who hit the ball into the net. It's 9-1. Douglas trying to answer, and oh man, Harris that time just did not get enough on that return volley, and it's 10-1. STM right now racking up points like it's a pinball machine from the 1950s. Here we go. There's a spike. Grimshaw to Henry to Scheer, who scores! Leighton Scheer, in a very slow but methodically developing sequence, scores the point for STM, and it's 11-1. Here comes a serve from Henry to the back line. Blanchard over to Odegaard. Play at the net made by STM, but kept alive. Odegaard pushes to the front row. Now here comes the Lady Cavs, and Scheer scores again with an assist from who else? Setter Anna Henry, and another timeout is used by Douglas. Well, as the old Morton Salt commercial used to say, when it rains, it pours. And right now, the Lady Cavaliers are just putting on a volleyball scoring deluge on their visitors from the border territory of northern Pennington County and southern Meade County tonight. It's 12-1. We're thrilled you're with us, giving you a programming look at the rest of the week. The Lady Cavaliers will host Hot Springs on Thursday night. Join us around 7 o'clock for Game 2 of the volleyball season for Coach Phillipson and this exciting Lady Cavs crew. And on Friday night, we'll have a rematch of a Halloween trick-or-treat classic won by STM last season, as 1-0 St. Thomas More hosts 1-0 Mount Vernon Plankington. Will be on the air at 4:40 with 5 o'clock kickoff set on Friday night for the big football home game. Be our last home game until October, so you may want to go to the game if you can make it. Here we go. Play at the net. Ball dug out by Henry. What a save by Anna. Over it goes now to the Douglas side. Ball set to the front row, and that time Douglas's Jaden Gray hit the ball into the netting. It's 13-1 now. STM up by a dozen. Here comes a serve by Anna Henry. Ramsey Johnson hits it to the front line. Emma Odegaard hits it over, and we've got a whistle, and someone hit the net. And STM will take the point. It's 14-1. This Lady Cavalier team looks like a team that can get to state if you base that on the fact that they're playing awesome and they're so much improved from even last year's team that was one match away from punching their ticket to the state tournament. It's 15-1 now with another STM point. Henry set to serve. Anna Henry. Serves a perfect volley over the net. Play at the net by Popple, who's laughing. She lost her balance, but kept her laughter in motion. There's a spike by Popple, and it went out of bounds. Barely missed a Lady Patriot, Ramsey Johnson, who got out of the way like a matador in a bullfight at the very end. Got to watch out for those bullfights. 15-2 our score. Serving for Douglas is Jillian Vernon, who checks in for Coach Tecker for the first time tonight. Vernon, a junior 5-foot setter, will actually hand the serving responsibilities over to Ramsey Johnson. And now we have a conference amongst the officials. Not sure what's going on. Looks like we're going to have a substitution. I'm not sure what the discussion's about. It might be whether or not this substitution is allowable. Were they in basically positioned to resume, or was this considered downtime? And let's see. Looks like we'll have a substitution. Miley Archer comes out for Douglas. Checking in is Riley with Joy. And here we go. STM on the floor right now in the back row. Benda, Eggleston, the libero, and Anna Henry on the front line. It's Popple, Henry, and Shear. Here we go. Douglas at the net. Good play made by Lauren. She hits it back to the Douglas side. Here comes the shot, and that will not go over the net. Good effort that time by Ashley Armstrong, who's in for the first time. Ashley Armstrong, a sophomore. In case you missed it today, I don't know how you could have, Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift were engaged, setting up the most anticipated wedding in American history, on par with the royal weddings we've seen in recent years with Prince Charles and Lady Diana, and then more recently with William and his wife, the Queen, who I can't seem to remember her name. God bless the Queen. Here we go. Anna Henry. It's the ball up into the air, and there's a spike and a kill and a finish, and a good one by Violet Grimshaw, and it's 18-2. Lady Cavs up by 16, trying to close out Douglas to take a 2-0 lead in this one. Here we go. There's a spike. Benda to Henry, now to Popple. What a great push shot to the back corner. Man, you talk about 8-ball corner pocket. That's what we saw right there. It's 19-2. Mike Fell, Braden Strain, Regan Dewar with you on a hot night for volleyball in our gym, the Security First Bank Court of Champions. And there's another ace for Leighton Shear. A lot of the younger sisters on this team of former players getting a lot of meaningful time tonight. Grimshaw, Henry, and Shear all had outstanding older sisters. Gretchen Henry, Scarlett Grimshaw, and Alexa Shear. And I bet a number of those older sisters are watching tonight, and we're always appreciative of your contributions and always wish you the very best. And let's get back to action. It's 20-3 now. Douglas wins the point. Vernon to serve. Jillian Vernon to Popple. Ahead to Henry. Play at the net made by Grimshaw, who gets back into her front line spot. Benda to Henry. Now to Boyum. Boyum has another kill. Madison Boyum has clearly expanded not only her power game, but she has expanded her accuracy and her spike radius and repertoire in a big, big way between what we saw back in November of 2024 and tonight. And there's a unconventional ace, to say the least, by Mara Wilkening. Mara, I believe the younger sister of the great actor Asher Wilkening, who starred in Oklahoma. Really good Rodgers and Hammerstein production we saw last spring, and there's a ball hit straight up into the air, and to the hardwood it goes. 23-3. Lady Cavs leading by 20. We did not see this last year or the last couple years for STM volleyball. There's a ball hit out of bounds by Ashley Armstrong, and now it's set point for Coach Michaela Phillipson and the Lady Cavs. Here comes a serve for STM by Wilkening. Play at the net, reversal, no-look play, not fooling Benda. Benda back to Henry. There's a point for Benda, and a decisive set 2 win, 25-3. Wow, the Lady Cavs just putting on a clinic here against a much larger school in the Rapid City metro area. The Lady Cavs with a 2-0 lead. What a tremendous debut for Coach Phillipson and the Lady Cavs tonight. Great to see basketball head coach Brandon Candelin in attendance. Big congrats to Coach Candelin again for leading the Lady Cavs golf team to a state championship. Coach Candelin now with 7 basketball titles and a lady golf title, or girls golf title. That's 8 championships. That's more titles than Tom Brady won in his NFL career, or more titles than Coach Nick Saban won in his coaching career. Way to go, Coach Candelin. And we look forward to Lady Cavs basketball when we get to that time of year, but that's a long ways off. It is a hot night in August. Not excruciatingly hot, but inside the gym where the air conditioner doesn't go and the air doesn't move, it's a hot night. We are between the second and third sets of this match. The Lady Cavs threatening to close out Douglas in straight sets. After this match, we hope to talk to Coach Phillipson, and we're so happy for the Lady Cavs. This core group, most of whom returned from last year's SODAC 16 squad, just going to work, very confident in their roles. They're bigger, they're stronger, in some cases taller, and this Lady Cavaliers team, without any hesitation, played the second set just like they did the first, which was attack, attack, attack. And what could you say about the front line trio of Boyum, Shear, and Benda? Wow, you talk about an absolute dynamite front line. That's what the Lady Cavs have. And then when you put in Anna Henry, the greatest setter in program history, as a senior into this mix, and you can tell the Lady Cavaliers have a state tournament objective and trajectory. Of course, the state tournament and at home this year at the Monument in Rapid City the week before Thanksgiving. Well, this is just a season opener, but man, is there a lot to smile about if you're STM Volleyball. And I know all of you Lady Cavs fans have to be encouraged as I am tonight. Let's recognize some more of our great sponsors: the South Dakota National Guard, Stacy Nelson, Remax Realtor, Wrangell Construction, The Market in Tuscany Square, Dave Rammel, State Farm Insurance Agent, Courtesy Subaru, and Doctors Tucker, Cruder, Nahawick, and Young with the Rapid City Eye Care Center. And the Lady Patriots win the first point tonight. And we are underway in set number 3. Here comes a serve by Emma Odegaard, dug out by Eggleston. Henry finds Shear, over it goes back to Douglas. Good play on the front line there by Caitlin Birdwell, and that is going to lead to a point for the Lady Cavs, and it's a 1-1 tie. So glad to have you with us tonight. If you're enjoying this match, we're going to have another one for you 2 nights from now. Thursday night, August 28th, that's my birthday. We'll be spending my birthday with the Lady Cavs as they will play here at the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network against Hot Springs. Look forward to bringing you that game, that match. Here we go. Shear to Henry, over to Popo. And it goes now to Ramsey Johnson. Oh, what a spike! Lauren Papel with a great spike makes it 2-1. Lauren in the rotation, another threat to score at the net consistently. Here we go. Odegaard hits it across for Douglas. Benda to Eggleston. Over it goes now to Odegaard. Now to Van Holy. Kept alive by Scheer. Over to Papel. There's a spike and a kill by Lexi Bird. Lexi, a sophomore middle hitter, with her first point of the evening, makes it a 2-2 tie. Well, I know it's extremely early in the third set, but Douglas off to a much better start. We have reached 8 o'clock local Mountain Time. We're happy you're with us here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network as we identify ourselves. Lady Cavs rolling with a 3-2 lead. Substitution now for STM as Henry gets ready to serve. Grimshaw checks in for Birdwell. Want to thank Regan Dewar, doing a great job with the camera work tonight. Our halftime guest for the football game Friday night will be our own superintendent of the Rapid City Catholic School System, Dr. Julie Tipton. Look forward to having Julie with us, and there's a spike. Ball goes away sideways. How about that senior night ceremony we had during that big STM victory? Want to thank all of you for tuning in Friday night. We had a record, and we absolutely smashed our viewership record over our 5+ years with the viewership totals we had for STM versus Sioux Valley Friday night. There's a spike and a kill by Leighton Scheer, and it's 4-3. STM back on top here in this third set. Here comes the serve by Scheer. Dug out to the back row, now pushed to the front. Henry to Boyum. Boyum is met at the net by Douglas, kept alive by STM. Papel hits it over. Now it goes to Odegaard, to Henry, to Boyum, and oh, did Maddie Boyum leave no doubt with that kill right there. And it's 5-3. STM, they are scoring any which way you can, which is the title of a old Clint Eastwood Sandra Locke movie. Here we go. Here comes a spike. Great play off the face of an unsuspecting Lady Patriot. Riley with joy. Kept alive by Douglas. Here comes STM. Now back to Douglas. Spike by Gray. Rejected at the net by the Lady Cavs. It's Benda to Henry. Reversal set. Sets up a point. Scored by Violet Grimshaw. How about that great play by Violet Grimshaw? It's 6-3. Lady Cavs with a commanding lead in this match, 2-0, and doubling up Douglas here in set number 3 at 6-3. Here comes a spike by Boyum, and that's a point. Good effort by Nicole Blanchard, who has had some really good moments in this match tonight, but she can't turn that spike around. It's 7-3. Here comes a spike, a serve by Scheer. It feels like a spike. It's such a good serve. Play made at the net. Boyum hits it back. What a great rolling tumble dig by Ramsey Johnson to the front row, but that does not result in a point. STM makes it 8-3. You sense Douglas starting to wilt a little bit. Lady Cavs still operating like this match just began. That's a testament to their conditioning, as there's another service ace by Leighton Scheer. It's 9-3. Lady Cavs tripling up Douglas and trying to pull away to get a sweep tonight. There's a dig by LaJoy. That ball goes out of bounds. It's 10-3. Substitution now for Douglas. Jillian Vernon will check in for Riley LaJoy. Wow, this match moving quickly. The Lady Cavs are scoring consistently and without a lot of resistance. Benda to Henry. Oh, what a play by Anna. Great effort to keep it alive by Douglas, and they do. Oh, Douglas doesn't get the point, but give him a moral victory and a round of applause. Coach Tucker and the Lady Patriots just digging on that last sequence. And there's a serve to Blanchard. She can't hit it back. We've got a timeout. Douglas calls a timeout. Not sure why. They're playing pretty well by the standards they have exhibited tonight. It's 12-3. Lady Cavs up by 9. Happy you're with us. Let's take a peek at the Major League Baseball scoreboard tonight. The San Diego Padres, my favorite team, it's not named the Cavaliers, leading my son Oliver's Seattle Mariners 5-0 in the early going. And how about those Padres trying to even up their series with Seattle after Seattle won 9-6 last night. Final scores: the Yankees beat the Nationals 5-1. Guardians beat the Rays 3-0. Red Sox blanked the Orioles 5-0. And the Braves, playing better lately, destroyed the Marlins 11-2. We're back to action. Push shot is a score for Jaden Gray. Douglas gets a point out of that timeout. It's 12-4. Substitution now. Technical director Braden Strain's sister, Caitlin, checks into the game for Leighton Shear. Here we go. Strain gets the ball ahead to Henry. Now to Grimshaw, over it goes. Gray to the back row. Strain to Henry, to Grimshaw with a spike and a score. It is 13-4. The Lady Cavaliers have not allowed Douglas to have 3 consecutive points at all in this match. At this stage, it's safe to say Coach Phillipson's Lady Cavs have dominated big time. Here we go. Douglas with a spike and a dig on the back row. Grimshaw to Benda. Hits it over. Now here comes Archer, met by Boyum at the net. Douglas keeps it alive. Good dig there by Benda. Henry to Benda, and that's a point. As a ricochet against a front line player for Douglas produces a ball out of bounds, and it's 14-4. The Lady Cavaliers have led by at least 10 points by the time they reach 14 points in all 3 sets in this dominant performance for STM. Oh, what a great spike by Benda. Benda with a diagonal cross right there. Man, that would be impressive in Connect 4 or your average crossword puzzle from the New York Times. Makes it 15-4. And there's another ace, and that time all of the Patriots looked at each other like, are you going to do something? That is a sign of the end being near, as STM has now expanded their lead to 16-4, or that's 4 squared to 4 if you're a math major. I'm not a math major, but I like to make those of you in the audience who are happy. Here comes a spike, dug out on the back row by Wilkening. Over to Henry, sets up Strain. Now it goes back to Douglas's side, and there's a point for St. Thomas More. 17-4 our score. Tune in Saturday morning bright and early at a little bit before 9 o'clock as STM will host West Central, but that is weather permitting. The weather forecast several days out from Saturday calling for an inch of rain. Not sure if we'll play soccer or not, but if we do, we'll have it for you Saturday morning on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. And there we go. We've got a whistle, and Douglas gets the point. Coach Cassidy doing a good job with the Lady Cavs soccer team so far. They started 2-0, had a tough road trip, looking to regroup this week. Lady Cavs up 17-5. Here we go. Strain. Ahead to Henry, to Benda. Benda gets another point. Right now, Kesley Benda not only picking up where she left off as a real difference maker in last year's winning season, but Benda just seemingly imposing her will against whatever outside hitter is in her way when she goes airborne. And once tonight, Benda went so high, it was really the cause for a double take. It was impressive, to say the least. Ayana Newholy hits the ball into the net for Douglas. It's 19-5. Lady Cavs 6 points away from a straight set sweep. Say that 5 times fast if you can. And here we go. Good serve there by Birdwell to Van Holy. Across it goes to Wilkening. Now to Henry. Over to Benda. Benda has her shot dug out on the back row by Douglas's Ashlyn Blasius, who makes a great play. And it's 20-5. Lady Cavs up by 15. Playing some very solid volleyball here in the early throughout this match. I should say early going in the season, not early going in this match. There's a great play at the net by Kesley Benda. It is 21-5. Lady Cavs 4 points away from a huge sweep. Stay tuned after this game is over. We're going to invite head coach Michaela Phillipson to join us. Lady Cavs up big right now and showing no signs of slowing down. Benda with a spike, dug out on the back row by Blasius. STM regroups. There's a spike. Great one-handed save by Ramsey Johnson. Good effort here by Douglas to keep this match going. Oh, what an effort on the back row by Blasius and by libero Ramsey Johnson. Those two young ladies really giving it their all for Douglas here. It's 22-5. STM to serve. Birdwell with a good serve. Dug out on the back line by Ramsey Johnson. Long shot goes out of bounds. That's a point for STM. Birdwell continues her serve advantage. STM 2 points away from being 1-0 to start the year and 1-0 in the Black Hills Conference as well. Ramsey Johnson with a tremendous spike from the back row makes it 23-6, and the serve advantage shifts back to the young ladies from the second fastest growing community in South Dakota. That would be Box Elder. My home for the last 7 years with our family, and we love Box Elder. Here comes a spike by Boyum. Boyum hits the ball into the air. Benda to Boyum. Boyum touches a shot into the net, and it's 23-7. St. Thomas More up by 16, trying to earn some defensive points, and Douglas here trying to get their first 3-point-in-a-row sequence of the night right here, right now. Benda serves, dug out by Blasius. Over it goes from Jillian Vernon. Henry sets up Benda, who gets the kill. And now it's match point for St. Thomas More. And the Lady Cavs will substitute Maya Eggleston, the junior libero, set to serve for the match. Right here, right now. Eggleston with that flying serve. Gets the ball over the net. Van Holy, did she hit it out of bounds? They say it barely touched the tape. And it's 24-8. That was so close. Could have gone either way. Instead, it keeps Douglas alive for at least one more point. Here comes the serve from Blasius. To Eggleston, to Henry. Spike by Shear, kept alive by Johnson. Douglas now to STM for the match, and that's a winning kill by Leighton Shear. And that'll do it. St. Thomas More wins in straight sets, not giving up 10 points in any set to the visiting Douglas Patriots tonight. It's a 3-set sweep. STM 25-9, 25-3, 25-8. And Coach Michaela Williamson has to be so proud of this team that looks as though they have come a long ways. We're going to have a prayer at midcourt here at the Security First Bank Court of Champions as we thank Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, for being with us in all ways in our lives and over this volleyball match tonight. Thank you, Lord Jesus. We love you dearly. And that concludes the prayer. And let's see if Braden Strain can get Coach Phillipson to join us, or maybe Regan can get Coach Phillipson to come up and talk to us here. The final score, 3-0 in the match. The set totals 25-9, 25-3, 25-8. This was a dominant performance. The offensive, the front line was absolutely tremendous. And let's see if we can get Coach Williamson to come on up and join us momentarily here on the Security First Bank Cavalier Sports Network. And yep, here she comes. We're happy to have her. Coach Michaela Phillipson gonna join us here. And hey, Regan, I'm gonna have you extend, Regan, can you give Coach the headset? All right. Right there is great. You're in good position. Thanks for joining us. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
What a great start to the year. I mean, this team I know is really put into work, but there were different dimensions to your team's games, I thought, especially at the net, that really built on what we saw a year ago.
Yeah, I have a lot of the same pieces, just a few different pieces, and I really think that they worked really hard over the summer and just improving their skills, especially at the net. And I have a lot of sophomores that don't play like sophomores, and that's super exciting. So, yeah.
Well, you had to be. I was really encouraged in the second set, in which your team won 25-3. It really seemed to me that your team kept attacking. There were matches last year where if the first set went well, the other team kind of seemed to get invited back in. That didn't happen tonight.
I agree. I agree completely with that. I think last year it's like we like to play with our opponents a little bit, and we just kind of let them creep back in a lot of the times. And so seeing what we just did tonight is super exciting because I never want to just give up points just to give up points. I say every single point counts, and that's exactly what they did tonight. They cared for about every single point, and it showed.
Well, one thing that was also very impressive is you talk about not giving up points, but Douglas, they didn't even have a sequence where they scored 3 straight points. I mean, you never let the other team get too comfortable, it seemed like.
Yeah, I agree. They are a good team. We've seen them a lot this summer. We played them in Summer League, and then we also played them at the School of Mines team camp, so we kind of knew what they had. I don't think that gave us a leg up or anything, but I think the girls kind of knew what to expect, I would say.
Final question, Coach, and that is Anna Henry. She's a senior, and she was the fastest player in program history to get to 1,000 assists or sets. I mean, watching her work so efficiently, so consistently, Wow, what a tremendous weapon.
She's definitely the leader of the team, I would say. She leads by example because she tries super hard on every single point, but she also leads on the court. She's like the coach on the court. She demands a lot of her teammates, and I love that about her. I haven't had many girls like that, and she's definitely one that demands good passes. She'll tell you, she's like, I need a pass better, or I need it on, or whatever. So she's also a vocal leader, and she's definitely the leader of our team this year, and I'm super grateful to have her.
Well, Coach, another note, congratulations on your marriage, your wedding.
Thank you.
I called you Coach Watson at the beginning, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm calling you by the wrong name.
That's okay, no worries.
And is your sister on the staff? Is that Tanya Watson?
My mom.
Oh, that's your mom.
That's my mom.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is. She's a head middle school coach, but when she's done with middle school practice, she comes over here and supports us and takes stats and does whatever she can. So I'm super grateful to have her.
Well, I know it's a family that just loves their volleyball, and congratulations on tonight, and we will see your team on Thursday.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's head coach Michaela Phillipson celebrating along with her team a big victory. Straight sets tonight, 25-9, 25-3, 25-8. The Lady Cavaliers are 1-0 to start the year. I want to thank our technical director, Braden Strain, and Regan Dewar. They did a great job tonight, and we are underway in almost every sport we've had a chance to broadcast. We just haven't had a chance to do boys soccer yet, but we've been celebrating some wins. The Lady Cavs, the Cavs football team, and now the Lady Cavs volleyball team, all looking like they can go to the playoffs and make a very deep run for something really big. Wow, and you just heard from Coach Phillipson the compliment of compliments to Anna Henry, saying it's like having a coach on the floor. And Anna has played so many matches, so many reps, and she is not just a coach on the floor, she's also the daughter of a great coach, Mike Henry. And, you know, without a doubt, there's something really exciting there. And, of course, Gretchen Henry, she set such a great example. I think she might be here, I'm not sure. But it is just great to see what we've seen from tonight's performance from the Lady Cavs. Up front, Benda, Papel, along with Boyum and Shear, just dominating at the net. And then on top of that, again, what Anna Henry was able to do, setting up her teammates, was just tremendous volleyball. And the Lady Cavs, I think it was really well said by Coach Phillipson in our post-game interview. How many times last year did the Lady Cavs kind of let their opponent back in or play them? And tonight was different. The Lady Cavs just went out and played their game their way and did not allow their opponent to build any type of counter resurgence, and that shows the development, the growth, and the collective maturity advance from a program that looks to be seriously in the running for consideration as a ranked team in Class A in volleyball. Our final score tonight, a straight set victory. St. Thomas More wins 25-9, 25-3, and 25-8. The Lady Cavs are 1-0 overall, 1-0 in conference. And we'll bring you another home game from the Security First Bank Court of Champions Thursday night. Join us around 7 o'clock as we will bring you St. Thomas More versus Hot Springs. For Regan Dewar, our camera operator who did a great job tonight. For technical director Braden Strain, this is Mike Fell saying thanks for watching. tonight. The Lady Cavs sweep Douglas. And we thank you for watching, and good night from Rapid City, South Dakota.